Everybody, today's the 18th. It's Friday. We made it. Today's the last day before winter break. Have a great day. Make sure you're getting all your work done. Remember, I told you a couple days ago to check Infinite Campus and see if you had any late work. Today would be the last day to do that. Remember, the first semester, the second quarter ends January 8th, the first Friday of January. So, sixth graders, as a reminder, let's do lunch on Friday today from 12:01 to 12:30. If you would like to join me, Mrs. Williams, Mr. McCreary for lunch, go to meet.google.com and use the code MSE Lunch 6. It'll be a chance to say hi to your friends, to us in the office, and generally just visit with each other for just about a half an hour. Don't forget, have your lunch ready so you can eat while we chat. Today's the last day of Spirit Week, and today is Favorite Team Day. Go Buckeyes. This day in history, this is a really important day in history because on December 18th in 1865, slavery was abolished in America with the adoption of the 13th Amendment. So, following its ratification by the requisite 3/4 of the states earlier in the month, the 13th Amendment is formally adopted into the U.S. Constitution, ensuring, and this is the quote, neither slavery nor involuntary servitude shall exist within the United States or any place to their jurisdiction, subject to their jurisdiction. So Lincoln, though he privately detested slavery, he responded cautiously to the call by abolitionists for emancipation of all American slaves after the Civil War started. But as the war dragged on, the Republican dominated federal government began to realize the strategic advantages of emancipation. So the emancipation really, even though it coincided with how Lincoln felt, it was a political maneuver as well. So the liberation of slaves would weaken the South and the Confederacy by depriving it of a major portion of its labor force, which would strengthen the Union by producing an influx of manpower. With 11 Southern states seceded from the Union, there was very few pro-slavery congressmen to stand in the way of such action, so it was adopted. All of the people who wanted slaves to remain in the South, they seceded and didn't have a voice in that argument in the Congress. So on that day, January 1st, 1863, President Lincoln formally issued the Emancipation Proclamation, calling on the Union Army to liberate all slaves in states still in rebellion as an act of justice warranted by the Constitution upon military necessity. So this proclamation transformed the Civil War from a war against secession into a war for a new birth of freedom, which is what Lincoln was talking about in his Gettysburg Address in 1863. So the Confederacy staggered towards defeat, and Lincoln realized that the Emancipation Proclamation was a wartime measure and would have little constitutional authority once the war was over. So he had to start working on this 13th Amendment to change the Constitution so it was crystal clear to everybody from that point forward that slavery could be no more. So in April 1864, the necessary 2/3 of the overwhelmingly Republican Senate passed the amendment. However, the House of Representatives, featuring a higher proportion of Democrats, did not pass the amendment by 2/3 majority until January 1865, like 9 months later. So that happened 3 months before the Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox, ending the fighting in the Civil War. So on December 2nd, 1865, Alabama became the 27th state to ratify the 13th Amendment, giving it the requisite, remember I said 3/4 majority of the states? Alabama was the state that put that over the edge, and they actually had to, because remember, Alabama's in the South. It was a Confederate state that seceded from the Union. It was forced to vote to ratify for the amendment as a condition for readmission into the Union. So if they would have voted no, Alabama would not have been let back into the United States of America. So on December 18th, the 13th Amendment was officially adopted into the Constitution. And get this, 246 years after the first shipload of captive Africans landed in Jamestown, Virginia. That was a long, sad history of captured Africans in the United States being treated as slaves. So we've come a long way since then. We've got a long way to go, but this day is an important day in U.S. history. So listen, have a great day today. Have a great break. Be safe. Enjoy your family. Take care. We'll see you in January. Remember, January 4th is a professional day for teachers. January 5th is your first day back, and we will be hybrid on January 5th. So that's a Tuesday. And remember, we start with the gold group on Tuesday. So we'll see you then.